line in the movie when Xerxes says, "How can you ever stand against me when I would gladly kill any one of my men for victory?" And I say, "And I would die for any one of mine." And that, to me, is the essence of Leonidas, that he would die for any one of his men. If you're not going to go away, then let's fight.
You know, when they said the film industry was hard to get into, I never knew this is what they implied.
Before I can properly review this film, I feel like it's important to look back at its origins. You see, back in high school, I attended a video production class along with a film studies class where I would always look for opportunities to watch or just make something cool. But the thing was, I could never really find anyone that cared enough about the class to make something that stands out. After all these like technology classes are an easy A, so people just strive to make things that are retarded as possible. Like, even for me, up to that point, the most creative thing I had made was a commercial about a pedophile that lures children to his van with slinkies.
That's great, but how much does it cost?
Only $9.95. So do you guys want to come to the land of slinkies?
Yeah!
Then come with me.
Well, that all is until a new student came to our class, and it was a boy named Bijan.
Critics, they like this pretentious stuff, okay? It doesn't have to be good.
Bijan and I attended the same film studies class throughout high school, but we were in different grades, so our teacher, Mr. Scott, never truly allowed us to work together until the second term. Eventually, the idea of the blowout came into the picture. If we're being truthful, the blowout was totally created out of envy. Not envy of another student or each other, but rather a student film called All In. All In was made like years before we even attended high school, but our teacher always praised it as his favorite film from the students. Not that there was much competition, after all the class was mainly seen as an easy A. So when our little alliance was formed, we quickly grew ambitious out of resentment for All In. Not that it was a terrible movie, but we were just cocky pricks that wanted to capture the wall with our own poster. If I can remember correctly, I was working on various different projects at the time, but nothing, absolutely nothing, caught my attention more than the blowout. We had like a super short time to film it. I think it was a month in total to completely make the movie, so obviously it was a stressful situation. There was fights, there was damaged equipment, there was distractions, and there were more fights. Lots and lots of fights. Really, our cultures clashed. So much that film studies became sort of a highlight for a lot of kids to see the show, and I'm not talking about the movies. Whether it would be forcing the substitute teacher to decide who looks more Arab, I mean, how ridiculous is that? Here, look for yourself.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
أمتي قد لاح فجر فارقب النصر المبين.
I don't know, you decide. I know it's kind of hard though. There was always conflict. We became so known that one student even started to spread a rumor that we were gay. The point I'm getting at is that the blowout was no picnic, but we were both immensely satisfied with the result. I recall the day we showed the film to Mr. Scott. It was lunch, we were at Dairy Queen in line babbling about some kind of aspect of our little movie, and there's this guy behind us, and he sort of chimed in, and he was some kind of VFX artist from SFU, and he really enjoyed our enthusiasm, so Bijan ended up giving the guy like all of his contact info, where he lives and everything, but he never really got back at us. Anyways, next block we had video class and we were really anxious about it, and we wanted to see what our teacher was going to say about it. So we were setting the laptop up, we glanced at the All In poster with a look like, yeah, your time is totally over. Eventually it ends and we notice that he has a full page of criticisms. He didn't love the movie as much as we did. He didn't hate it, but he didn't love it. Not enough to dethrone All In. We even submitted the film to a contest, but got kicked because of its violent nature.
Violence is bad.
God, what an asshole.
Think about violence in film.
It can influence people to be violent.
Depends if you can separate it from reality.
I think it's useless.
Do you think it affects people?
Yeah, of course. Some people would, but I think that the people who would be affected have some mental problems that were already there.
It's like the shooting, the killing, I love it.
Do you think it affects people in a negative way?
Who cares if it affects people? It's action, man. It's action. Like, no, like, what a fucking kick.
But eventually we decided that it doesn't matter. We had a screening for the movie and this great big cast showed up and everyone had a good time. We were happy.
Is this Seth Jewish?
Yeah.
I could tell, because your face is ugly. Oh! Could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I'm fading away.
And then things changed. Our teacher suddenly stopped coming to class. First it was here and there, but eventually we realized that something serious had happened to him. We got a permanent substitute who was a nice lady, although she wasn't a film teacher. She's the one we made decide who the Arab is. And things sort of continued into the third term of school. When it was time to make another movie, the idea of All Out came up, but we had a bit of a falling out. Bijan and I aren't compatible as filmmakers. Our ideas clash like the Spartan shields on the weak Persian warriors. Bijan was just too hardcore for me, getting in trouble with the police and shit. So we decided to make separate projects. This time around, Bijan strived to continue the saga of the blowout.
Spare me.
While I branched out into more retarded themes. Eventually the boy named Bijan graduated and moved on to a completely different world of filmmaking and completely different ambitions. Blowout Part 3, Far Out. Yeah, it seems like old Bij had to finish his story off in a feature length. After all, our biggest flaw with the blowout was that it was too ambitious for a 15-minute movie. And now a year or two later, I get this news that Bijan Karim has made a 2-hour movie? I was surprised he managed to do it. But it tickled my fancy. I was curious, really curious. I needed to see what he had done with our little Envy project. And that's how we got here at this review. Before I begin the review, there are 2 things to look into. Firstly, I'll be judging this film on the basis of its budget. It's a $0 budget, and I have to keep that in mind.
I have no money!
Secondly, I would like to do a quick recap. The Blowout is about a filmmaker and his action star friend who wants to produce a script they have shelved but can't afford the money, so they go to a loan shark called Seth Weinstein, and that's when I come into the picture. Long story short, Action Star is a figment of the filmmaker's mind, and Seth Weinstein is having none of it, except the filmmaker manages to kill Weinstein and his crew and gets arrested in the process. Now, All Out is a continuation of these events. In part 1, we saw him kill everybody. In part 2, we see him kill everybody again.
Spare me.
Foul ball, bitch.
He continues his struggle with reality until he goes all out and kills everyone, but this time it sort of results in him falling into a coma. And that's where the story was left, until now. Now let's get to how I'm going to structure this thing. I've watched the movie about 3 times now, so I thought before fully critiquing the movie I would analyze it, but then it got too complicated, so I was just like, fuck it, we'll just do it. When I heard Bijan was going to have a premiere, I immediately thought it would be a great idea to review this film. So I grabbed some friends and made my way to the theater.
I'll say I look like I'm about to go into a business meeting, but whatever. Yeah, you do. Okay, coming. Adrian's gonna be here.
When we got there, we were coldly welcomed by none other than Bijan Karim himself, all suited up on his big night. We continued to make our way inside.
The audio shit. It's pretty cool.
So you're making it worse on purpose?
Yep.
And grabbed the front row seats to truly capture the essence of Bijan Karim.
I have a lot of popcorn kernels in my mouth.
I was surprised to see that old Bij had assembled quite the diverse cast here. There were even females, in the movie even. But I'll get to that later.
Already problems. Are you excited? Goddamn right I am. Yeah. Right now? Yeah, are you excited? I'm so excited, buddy. What are your thoughts? My thoughts right now? I'm kind of nervous right now, but I think I'm gonna do okay. Good. Awesome. Thank you.
So there I am preparing myself for the complete unknown, and when those titles popped up, I knew I was in for a ride. The movie starts out with some of the blues, and I'm not surprised because he's sort of into that stuff. We then flash forward to what looks like a bank heist, but it sort of makes us think this is the end of the movie, but I can see past this. I knew right away that this wasn't going to follow the common 3-act structure, like most Western mainstream movies. Instead, he was going to do what I call the Persian deceit. We then move on to an awesome opener that must have been a total bitch to make. Then it moves on to this Iranian commercial thing, which I loved, but I also wish it could have been incorporated a bit more throughout the movie, especially as a transition. One aspect that I cared about was how this is going to stand alone. How is this going to recap what happened? And well, he does it pretty well, I think. Although I think the shot of Moe waking up from the coma is a bit cheesy. But again, you know, $0 budget.
No money.
Love the fact that there's sort of instability in the city now. Like Seth Weinstein was some kind of Joker in the Arkham Knight. Anyway, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome in my opinion. He's a pretty great character. Really hope nobody says a hurtful comment that will push me over the edge. One thing that bugged me throughout the movie was the music. I don't mean like the soundtrack, but the volume of it. I feel like some scenes were really loud when they didn't need to be, and some scenes were really low when they didn't need to be. The music here is way too loud for it to be background.
You think I can't be on your level? You think I can't do what you do? You fucking piece of shit. But you think wrong, motherfucker. You think wrong.
Goldberg is your name? Don't be surprised. And one day I fucking grab this and I fucking slice your whole fucking head off. That's right. I'll fucking slice it just like that. One day, you'll see your time come to an end.
And then in this scene, you can hear the From Nowhere Bardson remix in the background, but it just sort of never goes up when he attacks Barry Levinstein.
Why? What's it say? Why? Yeah, this is why.
I really would have liked it if, like, he would have upped that volume, because the punches are very raw. Like, the sound effects are sort of iffy, so it would have been nice to cover that up. I also want to say something about the filtering. I really like this yellow tone in it. It really makes it look sort of like Utopia, which is a great show, by the way. And it really gives it a unique vibe, even though some people might not like it. So we finally get to see our villain, and I gotta say I really like him. This actor did a really great job portraying this character, but I'm gonna get to performances later. But anyways, moving on to this scene, which honestly may be one of my favorites. I don't know how this fucker wrote this, but it's really good dialogue. I also really like the bodyguard. He's doing really well in the role. The scene overall felt really vital to us understanding the villain and making sure that he's not some generic villain like Seth Weinstein, truthfully. Although I did catch this.
Got you, Bijan.
It's okay, I forgive you, Bijan. $0 budget. Then we move on to this interesting scene on some train tracks. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a heritage unit?
Okay. I've been waiting for this moment for months, and it's finally here. I'm finally gonna get a heritage unit on camera. Yeah! All right, look at that, a 1953 E8. Woohoo! Oh yeah, listen to that bell. Yeah, listen to that bell. Oh, take a look at that. Oh my God! Woo! Listen to that horn! Oh my God! Oh, she's beautiful! She is beautiful! Yeah! All right! Oh my! Oh no! It's a BL2 too! Oh!
I've been waiting for this moment for months, and it's finally here. I am finally gonna get a heritage unit on camera! Yeah! This would be 1989 Rio Grande. Woohoo! We're gonna take a look at that. Woo! Yeah! Oh, yes! Oh, she's a beauty! She is a beautiful thing!
But anyways, moving on, and what? Not only a sex scene, but a sex scene that has a girl in it. It's hard to see because she's sort of out of the frame, but I was in shock. Damn, Bij, you come a long way from that male cast. Fun fact, The Blowout was an all-male cast. Another fun fact, Persians haven't had a country since its empire was obliterated by Alexander the Great. 10 out of 10 movie, by the way. I also noticed it's sped up here. Looks sort of like Running Scared. I like it.
Down on the ground. Go, go, come on, move, move, move. The guy was a cop. Joey, get rid of it.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
We then get a fun cameo of Mark Emery. I would have liked a little less detective segments, to be honest, and more of the filmmaker. I would have liked it if it was a bit more analytical of the character. Although I do think the bearded fellow did a good job in this scene, and the location is absolutely awesome, but it did feel sort of irrelevant.
Blasted your brains all over that room number that you're so curious about.
I like that cool 90s film. Looks fun overall. The movie is perfect so far.
You killed Seth Weinstein, what, a year ago? But I fucking hated that fat fuck. He was a fat fuck too, wasn't he? I fucking hated that guy. You didn't do that for me. You didn't do that for me, man. Like, that doesn't mean shit. No.
Not worth it. It's just not worth it. Come on, man. You gotta, like, at least finish the review before killing yourself. Come on, Bijan's gonna be so disappointed he didn't get to watch this quality piece of cinema.
I can't take it anymore. Oh,
come on, Angela, no!
Bijan, why?
No!
Bijan, why?
You did this.
No!
I could tell this is personal because he voices his hate for Weinstein, but at the same time correlates it with his disapproval of his death? That doesn't make sense. People don't talk like that, Bijan. Obviously, you're being a fucking cunt, and it will affect the rest of the review. So I'm noticing a bit of a disconnection in terms of quality in the film. I feel like there are some scenes that are really high in quality, while some feel a little rushed. Like the scene where the filmmaker's sitting down with his father. The whole scene felt really like an interview. There wasn't much dynamic action in the scene. It felt stationary, but then we have this pool hall scene which is totally professional and had some substance. I don't really get the black and white scene, but I'm sure it has some kind of meaning. Maybe it shows the filmmakers turning towards a lighter-sided human being? I'm not sure, that's up to you. I'm happy to see that you incorporated another human of the opposite sex, but here's the thing, she has no idea about the filmmaker, but hasn't he apparently been in the news? Do we expect this female to be living in a kitchen for the past 2 years? Are we gonna objectify her like that? Wow, low taste, Bij. Way to fail the Bechdel test.
The Bechdel test, or the Moe movie measure, is a type of litmus test to assess the presence of women in movies. It originated from Alison Bechdel's comic, Dykes to Watch Out For, in 1985. Here's how it works. A movie just has to pass these 3 simple questions. The first, are there 2 or more women in it who have names? The second, do they talk to each other? And the third, do they talk to each other about something other than a man? It's quite extraordinary actually how many movies don't pass this test, because it's not even a sign of whether it's a feminist movie or whether it's a good movie, just that there's female presence in it and that they actually are engaging about things other.
Oh my god! Far out, Bijan Karim! I am so happy you're seeing this because I'm a huge fan of your movies. And I'm totally hoping I can convince you to make me a star in your next movie. I have some rules though. I never go on set without my pudding here. Another rule is that you can't objectify me. And lastly, I will only perform if you admit that Greeks are far superior to Persians. I hope you liked my audition. Bye, Bijan! Bye!
Anyways, there's this one shot I love. It's a Reservoir Dogs illusion shot. I really like how we as viewers connect with the filmmaker through these visual cues that show his own infatuation with cinema. Also, when he takes the Mandarin from Levinstein, a clear example of power when a man takes another man's food. Pulp Fiction. The whole heist makes us think it's the ending, but in reality it's not even near the climax. So it's pretty unique. Plus I really enjoyed the group assembled here, but I'll get to that in the performances. This pool hall scene fight is just great. So much going on. I'm getting such a Raid Redemption vibe here. Like this one guy, he's totally like the silent brute of the whole thing. Good job, Bij.
I already told you I hate fucking cops.
If that's the case, I got bad news for you.
You?
Yeah, me.
Well, that's fucking big.
But then again, these cops in the bathroom seems like a weird place to meet, unless there's like a secret layer in there or they're having casual sex. Anyways, we meet the clock assassin guy. Pretty humorous scene overall, especially this. I just wish it could add some music, because it's sort of missing where it's needed.
Fucking bitch!
Wow, what an amazing execution. This whole scene really ups the whole movie. I don't know why, but this totally reminds me of when Leonidas threw his spear at Xerxes, only this time he was totally on the nose. Anyways, this whole scene is super similar to Drive. We thought when the filmmaker's father dies it's the climax, but actually I believe this is. First off, the lighting is outstanding in this scene. I like Drive. This is the scene where the hero reveals his true villainous self to the girl he cares about. In the result, he loses her.
تو از کدوم قصه‌ای که خواستن عادت نبودنت فاجعه بودنت امنیت تو از کدوم سرزنی تو از کدوم هوایی که از
I like this one take. I'm glad that you experimented a bit. This whole scene is also great. I love the constant crash zooms. It sort of reminds me of the Battle of Thermopylae from 300. Just all out great action. Good job, Beach. But in all seriousness, this shows how focused he becomes when he loses his shit. Like, compare this to that pathetic mirror scene earlier.
I'll fucking slice it just like that.
Club scenes are never easy, but I think you pulled it off. It's structured pretty well. I do wish Levinstein could have fought a bit more because he's such a great character, but overall I think this scene's sort of Moe's Oscar moment, if you will. We sort of see him at his wit's end, but here's the problem for me, like, from here on out in the movie. The filmmaker is invincible. He should obviously be dead by now, but for the sake of the conversation, let's just say that that Mandarin gave him enough vitamin C to push through until he gets some cocaine. Still, even then, we haven't seen him truly struggle. He dominates every battle, even against the cool black Jewish club owner. We haven't had that moment where the audience believes this is it. Which, you know, takes a bit of the suspense away, but it's entertaining, so eh. Fun dolly zoom. You know what else is fun? Countless Greek islands that are a great getaway. Do you like doing parkour? Try out Santorini. Are you a daredevil? Then you sound like a Zakynthos type of person to me. Like to have unprotected gay sex? Then Mykonos is the place for you.
Americans are crazy, Europeans you're crazy, Mykonos we're crazy, you are crazy, crazy. Australians are crazy, Africans are crazy, Mykonos we're crazy, you are crazy, crazy. Arabians are crazy, Asia, yes you're crazy, Mykonos we're crazy, you.
I was really sad to see this bodyguard go. I really loved him. We then move on to a really awesome location for a fight scene.
Sorry for your passing.
Sorry for your passing is an interesting line because it alludes back to Goldenberg's rant.
Passed away. Actually, no, I fucking hate that term, passing away, pass away. No, fuck that. People should just grow a fucking pair and say fucking dead. Dead! Anyway.
So this sort of tells me that, like, Bijan, the writer, really went back and revised the script a bunch of times. It's well-rounded overall. What I really like about the scene is that the filmmaker could have dropped dead right there and then, and it would have been perfect as an ending. It would have been sort of like Burn After Reading, but overall, I feel like the rest of it's a bit of an epilogue. Another female? And wow, you objectify her right away, you cis fuck. How dare you? Don't you know you can't objectify women in movies? I'm gonna take to the internet. Let's take to the internet and ask people online what they think of this.
You should see the night that I spent talking to You have such small hands. Like, look at mine and then look at yours. Thoughts on objectification of women on movies. That's a huge ass word. I don't even know what it means.
Me neither. And I'm probably the oldest one in here, and I have no clue what the fuck that is.
Okay.
Ashes.
Twin Peaks. No, what is Twin Peaks? Twin Peaks. You have my I should model. Oh my god, no. I should model. Oh no. I go every summer. It's just very funny. October. Yes, it's true. It's the best thing I've ever seen. What do you think of objectification of women? Like in porno. I don't know. Like, she's in a mag. Tell me which one. I'm not in a magazine, guys. Like, I'm not a model at all. She's hotter than.
Well, I'm having trouble finding real feminists on this website, so I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Disco Pogo.
What?
It's Spartan. I'm not entirely sure what you were referring to.
No!
The release is on the 27th, Halo 5. Look at these guys. How fucking funky is this? I'll just keep wondering. Hi, Spartan. I like your name because I love Spartans. John 117, clearly. But I don't really care about objectification of women right now. So I'm not at home where I would talk about this subject. Right now I'm at a convention objectifying myself as usual. So... Hi.
I don't know. Like, what movies? I don't watch objectifying movies, I guess, so I don't know what to talk about. Do you have 7-inch Spartan's question of Ryan is, yeah, no, not at all. I don't think women get objectified. I think everybody gets objectified because they put themselves in a position to pretend to be someone they're not. And that puts you in the area where people are going to take out what you're doing wrong or right. 100%.
That's what we need to understand. Yeah. Just like a stripper, just like a cam girl, just like the UFC fighter, just like a boxer. They're all using their body to make money. So why are they freaking the fuck out when their body gets objectified?
100%.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because I fucking agree. They're not a good one. Boxers that you feel happy being in.
You're comfortable in that palm.
Exactly. Just like we. Oh, thanks, man! Yay! Pizza time! It's like, I like pizza time. Then we have many to choose from when we take a break in this conversation. Mm-hmm. We have Finrear, then we have Stan, and Review. Ridley, and we have Neo Noir, and Knox. So many to choose from.
Here's the deal though. There's no way the detectives could possibly know where he is unless he's actually dead, and this is just a spiritual hallucination of sorts. So the filmmaker's soul can have closure sort of like a movie. That's what I get from this ending.
I can't believe you've done this.
Let's just recap my thoughts, everything for a second, starting with performances.
Filmmaker.
Moe Golkar, pretty good performance. I feel like he gave it all. He was a good vessel for the audience. He gave us a real Mr. Robot vibe, and that's really the type of performance it needed in this role.
Fucking dead soon too. So if you want, you can head to the front of her place and see her fucking dead body.
James Surroy, awesome performance, very eccentric, total megalomaniac, and he had substance, something that Weinstein did not have. His bodyguard, loved this guy, don't know why, he's just great. Heist guys, all awesome in the heist. I really like this guy. I get kind of a Jason Schwartzman vibe from him. I really enjoyed it. Lamont James Brown, loved his performance. Wish he was in it more, actually. Total badass. Also really liked his bodyguard. Now your teacher, Mr. Wage, a bit wacky. I feel like there's a lot of laughing in this scene. The detectives, meh. I feel like they could have been a little bit better. Clock Assassin was stoic, but I feel like you were going for that. And last and certainly least in Bijan's eyes, the girls, poor souls, did what they could with this cisgendered perverted directing, you fucking monster.
Suck my dick, suck my motherfucking dick, suck my dick, suck my mother.
Cinematography, pretty good overall, shot on a prime. So it had, you know, nice depth of field. Could have been a bit more stable in some shots, but give or take, right?
Terrific.
The writing was well-rounded overall. A few things bothered me, but that could have been creative clashing, like the clashing of the Spartan boats obliterating the Persians in 300 Rise of an Empire.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy and I feel like I'm loving you. Love you such a sweet thing, good enough to eat thing, and it's just what I'm gonna do. Ooh, love to hold ya, ooh, love to kiss ya, ooh, love, I love it so.
Directing, competent at directing, I think. Bijan has really grown. He took up a pretty big project here and managed to direct it on a satisfactory level for me. Editing, good and bad actually. It was a bit unbalanced, felt a bit like the detective segments could have been cut. I also would have added more Persian commercials to transition the scenes, but overall it was okay. Overall, I'm having a lot of trouble giving this a proper score. There's a million things I can look into, but I feel like I have too much of a bias towards it, so I decided to go to someone who can give me an unbiased second opinion.
What are some thoughts here?
Mind-blowing. Wow. Phenomenal.
Phantasmazing. I have to make up new words.
Cinematography genius.
Superfluous.
Hey.
Hey.
You know, we're supposed to do the thing today, right?
Oh no, I forgot.
Yeah.
Better get to it.
We got laughs from coast to coast to make you smile. A real right look at each of you to capture all that style. You're the red, white, and blue. The fun and things you do. America, America, this is you. Stories from your friends next door, they never told. You might be a star tonight, so let that camera roll. You're the red, white, and blue. All the fun and things you do. America, America, this is you.
Alright, are you ready to talk about Far Out? Hey, what are you watching?
Transmutation. Got
Wow.
6,000 views. Really blowing up on YouTube recently.
Really? Let's get this on camera.
Should check it out. It's pretty fantastic.
Sounds great. Okay. Hey, Lachlan.
Hey, Angelo.
What do you think of Far Out?
Wow. That's certainly a loaded question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think Far Out was a very interesting attempt by director Bijan Karim at an action movie on a low budget. Unfortunately, a lot of the pieces that he had didn't really fit together very well.
How so?
Well, in a movie, you want all of your ideas to cohesively fit together like a puzzle. But with Bijan, it just felt like you were throwing puzzle pieces at a wall. Which is why I think this movie's a lot like wallpaper, you know? It's just kind of there. He just threw all his ideas at this movie and hoped they would stick and make a beautiful picture. But instead, they just kind of stood there in the background.
It's just not very fun to watch for the most part, you know?
What did you think specifically that bothered you?
See, it's hard to say what specifically bothered me. Because, like, there were a lot of things. But I guess the main thing is it all felt kind of like a jumbled mess. It didn't really feel like any of the shots flowed together. You want a movie to feel like a river that just flows endlessly. But that movie was kind of just like a hurricane. It was just chaos for the most part. It was really hard to tell what was going on unless you paid absolute attention. And not in a way that would make you want to pay absolute attention. It was just, if you blink, everything's gone, but you don't care enough to even look at it for 3 seconds. You know?
Yeah, I get that, but there were a lot of good stuff in it that I liked. What are some good stuff that happened in it that you think, well, it's pretty impressive, $0 budget, you know, what do you think? you think? Have you thought about it?
I don't know. Maybe a bunch of Indian kids started dancing around saying Bijan did 9/11, I'd reconsider watching it again.
Angela?
Whoa.
You gotta finish the review, bud.
What are you doing here?
It's my room.
Oh. What do you want to know again? Sorry.
What score are you giving Far Out?
Oh, Far Out. I've decided, I've come to a conclusion. I am going to give, I'm going to give Far Out, I think this is a good score, I think it's a fair score, I think it's worth the time you spent in this, watching this. I'm going to give it,
Time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finished. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid, I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid, your boy, hold weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate.
There's much our cultures could share.
Haven't you noticed? We've been sharing our culture with you all morning.
Yours is a fascinating tribe. Even now you are defiant. In the face of annihilation and the presence of a god. It isn't wise to stand against Leonidas. Imagine what horrible fate awaits my enemies when I would gladly kill any of my own men for victory.
And I would die for any one of mine.
You Greeks take pride in your logic. I suggest you imply it.
here. No, what are you waiting for? Do it!